The legendary Adam Copeland has collected and been a part of many interesting backstage facts and stories over the last few decades that even die-hard fans might have missed. You think you know him? Well, you're about to learn so much more about the Rated R superstar, my friends. Because I am Gareth, this is What Culture Wrestling, and here are 10 fascinating backstage facts about Edge. Number 10, he got into a fistfight with Christian over a video game. It's no secret that Edge and Christian are the absolute best of buds. Off-screen, that is. But their brother-like relationship has not been free of infighting, as they once came to blows over a serious issue. NHL 94, of course. Edge discussed this incident on an episode of the Steve Dangle podcast. He claimed that he and Christian once had an intense fistfight after playing the National Hockey League game, which got so serious that they flipped themselves over a pool table. According to Copeland, Christian is a terrible winner and a sore loser. With this skirmish, which probably counts as their first match, right? Resulting from this competitiveness. Hilariously, the story continued even after the fight concluded. After Christian stormed out post-battle, Edge chased him in his car and called for him to come back, trying to stop them, in his own words, breaking up over a video game. Copeland described this dramatic scene as straight out of an 80s Molly Ringwald movie. Thankfully, they worked past this little blip and are now the best of friends in All Elite Wrestling. Yep. Number 9, he once wrestled in a barn. Wrestling is a tough business, a tough business. Making it in the industry is nothing more than a dream for most, with many talented wrestlers stuck performing in bingo halls and gyms. Even legends like Edge had to pay their dues before making it big. As such, he has wrestled in some strange places, one of which was an actual barn. In an early career interview for the Canadian press, Copeland talked about his struggles to make ends meet during his pre-WWF career. "I wrestled in a barn in Tennessee in front of 6 people and ate a can of tuna a day," said Copeland. He then expanded by claiming that this was a necessary part of his career, as he thought it was important to go pretty much anywhere you can find work. Nowadays, it's hard to think of a time when Edge wasn't a massive deal. Thus, this incredibly humbling start to his career is a testament to the power of hard work, perseverance, and struggle. And what's the other? Oh yeah, grit. Now I've got a quick question for you while we're on the subject of Edge in general. What is your favorite Rated R superstar match of all time? You let me know in the comments section right down below. Number 8, the name Edge was inspired by a radio station. What is in a name? Well, quite a lot actually, especially for a wrestler. Nobody will chant for you if you've got a terrible moniker. But Adam Copeland struck a winner with the name Edge. So where did it come from? Was he a big fan of U2? Did he just love geometry? No, the origins of Edge are far simpler than that. Copeland began his wrestling career using names like Sexton Hardcastle and Adam Impact, as well as a short stint as Damon Stryker in WCW. But he needed a fresh title after being officially signed by the WWF, and came up with the name Edge. Copeland revealed this name's origins in an interview with Fox News, claiming it came from a radio station. He stated that he and Don Callis were driving together and listening to Edge 10-something, and this struck a chord with Copeland, who thought the name had a bit of a rock and roll feel to it, so he suggested it, and it stuck. In the same interview, he claimed the other names tossed around were Riot and Rage. Let's be thankful this station came along when it did, eh? Number 7, he nearly got into a fight with JBL. Here's a fact most people don't know. The beloved JBL was actually a massive bully who used his power to belittle, attack, and victimize his peers. Oh wait, no, everyone knows that. Oh yeah. It's one of the worst kept secrets in WWE. John Bradshaw Layfield's infamous backstage reputation has all but overshadowed his illustrious career. Thankfully, there are also plenty of stories about him getting completely humbled, and this is one of them. Ken Anderson, you know, Mr. Kennedy, discussed this incident on an episode of the Pancakes and Power Slams podcast. According to him, JBL had been hazing Copeland during an overseas tour. After putting up with it for some time, Copeland snapped and confronted him. Anderson alleged that Edge slapped a beer out of the former Bradshaw's hand and said, "Let's go right now, I'm sick of it." In response, Layfield backed down, opting not to aggravate the young wrestler any further. Hearing that one of the most well-liked wrestlers of all time put this bully in his place is more satisfying than seeing a pitch-perfect superkick. Though seeing one of those hit JBL wouldn't be half bad either. Number 6, Bob Holly took him to Restless Court over a toy. The infamous Restless Court was a kangaroo court that allowed co-workers to hash out disputes between themselves. So why did Edge and Christian find themselves staring down the barrel of this practice? Well, it was all because of a Flash action figure. And who said toys are just for kids? Losers, that's who. Edge, Christian, and former WWE writer Brian Gewirtz discussed this hilarious story on Edge and Christian's Pod of Awesomeness. Copeland claimed he gifted a Flash toy toy given to him by a fan to go at, knowing he loved the character. Unfortunately, hardcore Bob Holly witnessed this exchange and accused the wrestler of bribing a writer to secure more TV time. Thankfully, Edge was pre-warned that he would be attending the court by an unnamed person he dubbed Burt Angel, wink wink, giving Christian and him time to think of a defense. Rather than taking the court seriously, the pair decided to have some fun and brought in a fake book titled Edge and Christian How to Kiss Ass Our Road to the Top, and claimed they were getting a book deal, something many other top wrestlers were getting at the time. Thankfully, the joke was a smash hit, leaving wrestlers like Holly and Steve Blackman in tears of laughter. Christian even alleged that Triple H told them, "That's the best defense I've ever seen in my life. It's all about the game and how you play it after all." Number 5, he nearly missed No Mercy 1999. No Mercy 1999 was an integral milestone in Adam Copeland's career, as it was the pay-per-view where he and Christian squared off in a tag team ladder match against the Hardy Boys. This iconic bout became the basis for the legendary TLC matches that defined both teams and the Dudley Boys' careers. So the fact he almost missed it due to an act of nature is a bit horrifying. Edge recounted the story of this near miss on his Instagram account in 2021. He claimed to have gotten stuck in Miami the night before the pay-per-view due to a hurricane. The next day, he realized he had to drive through the terrifying storm to catch a flight to Tampa. His flight would get him in for 4 before his match at 7:30, meaning even the slightest delay could have resulted in him missing the event. Naturally, he made it through this troubling time and the match became an instant classic. So the next time you decide to call in sick to work, just remember that Edge drove through a hurricane so as not to miss it. That's dedication, folks. Number 4, Vince McMahon told him he'd be going bald. Ribbing is about as common in the wrestling industry as Harley Quinn cosplayers at Comic-Con. There's an endless sea of hilarious prank stories within WWE, and this one saw Edge come close to losing one of his most iconic features, those luscious golden locks. Burt Angel discussed this prank on an episode of the Kurt Angle Show. In the build-up to the classic hair versus hair match between him and Edge at Judgment Day 2002, McMahon convinced Edge that he was losing the match and being shaved bald. Yikes, that must be terrible. According to Angle, McMahon pulled Edge into the office and said, "We're gonna have a hair versus hair match, and Angle, you're going over. You're gonna shave Edge's head." This naturally freaked Copeland out, leading him to express his concerns about being bald to Angle. He claimed he was nervous he wouldn't look good bald, stating that his head isn't shaped right. The joke went on until the last minute, with the rib being revealed just before the pair went out. This then led to them having to quickly come up with a new finish. Still, just imagine the relief Edge must have felt. Going bald is awful, isn't it? Number 3, he lost 37 pounds for the final season of Vikings. Any wrestling fans who have watched Vikings will tell you that Adam Copeland deserves plenty of credit for his acting skills. His turn as Kietel Flatnose in the hit History Channel series is one of the most impressive wrestler-turned-actor performances out there, and this story is a testament to his dedication to the part. Per an interview with Winter is Coming, Copeland lost 37 pounds, over 2 stone that is, to film the final season. His character spent the 6th season in turmoil as he was starving, so Copeland chose to reflect this by eating way less than he usually would. "I'd lost 37 pounds for this storyline, so I wasn't eating as much," he said. This diet became a struggle for him when the day came to film one of the character's most physical scenes. Copeland expressed how difficult it was, even claiming that Ray Stevenson, rest in peace, told him, "I'm gonna get you a Snickers, your lips are blue." Despite the hardships, the final performance ended up working perfectly. Still, he called it a challenging day on multiple fronts and claimed there was only so much Red Bull to get him through it. Number 2, he legitimately injured Jose Estrada in his official WWF debut. You know what they say, first impressions count. So going on TV and accidentally injuring your first televised opponent is not the strongest start. The legendary Edge has proven time and time again that he has impeccable wrestling skills. However, even the best in-ring performers make mistakes. Unfortunately for Adam Copeland, he committed a big one in his 1998 WWF debut against Jose Estrada Jr. During the match, Edge flipped over the ring ropes and landed on Estrada, whacking him with his leg and legitimately injuring him. The referee, Timmy White, turned to Edge and said, "He's out, kid," before starting a 10 count, leading to a deflated victory for the future Hall of Famer. So yes, Edge won his WWF debut match via countout after legitimately hurting his opponent. This certainly isn't the best way to start a wrestling career, especially considering the high caliber of first matches from his future rivals John Cena and The Undertaker. Still, in Copeland's own words, there was nowhere to go but up following this. That's one way of looking at it. Number 1, the Don't Look at Me game. Even in the high high-octane world of sports entertainment, people need to find ways to have some extra fun. Whether it's pranks, games, or just goofing about, there are plenty of ways wrestlers have kept themselves occupied throughout the years. For Edge, Christian, and the legendary Stone Cold Steve Austin, their tried-and-true method was the Don't Look at Me game. The duo discussed this little pastime on an episode of Ian C's Pod of Awesomeness. The rules to the game were simple. One of the wrestlers would go up to another and say, "Don't look at me," and tell them how long for. Then the victim would have to avoid looking at them for that time, as the other would try to get into their eyesight to make them lose the game. The pair described some of the best times they played the game, with one particularly notable example coming in an iconic Attitude Era moment. Christian claimed that while he and Edge were tying Austin to the Undertaker's cross in 1999, he whispered, "Don't look at me," into Austin's ear. This forced the legendary Hall of Famer to avoid eye contact with him whilst being strung up by the Ministry of Darkness. Wonderful stuff. And that is our list. Know of any other fascinating backstage facts about Edge that we've missed? Well, let us know all about them in the comment section right down below, and don't forget to like, share, and click on that subscribe button while you're down there. Also, if you're into this sort of stuff, then please head on over to whatculture.com and find some more fantastic articles just like the one this video you're watching right now is based on. I've been Gareth from What Culture Wrestling. Cheers for watching this video today, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Bye bye!